Hi, Morgan. I watched Epic the Musical the other day and I love it, but it's brought back some memories that I repressed. And so I want to talk about the time that I played Zeus in a adaptation, we'll just call it that, of Odysseus. It was for an after-school acting class back in like 2013. Thankfully, I don't think there's any surviving video footage of that experience. So it was wonderfully, how do I put this? Everything that could go wrong went wrong. And I want to talk about this. So, first of all, it was an after-school acting class that met there were 3 different quarters of it or something, and the play was only in the spring quarter, so we didn't realistically have that much time to rehearse, because I think by the time that we got everything cast and then blocked out, we did not, I think we didn't really get the proper amount of rehearsal time to actually make a polished performance. And on top of that, the actress who was supposed to play Penelope stopped showing up. And so the directors did not adequately plan for that. Because I think they knew at least a couple of rehearsals before the actual show, that actress had not been showing up and they were having trouble getting a hold of her, and they didn't have a backup plan till the night of. They managed to find someone else in the cast who basically just didn't have any other scenes at the same time that Penelope was supposed to be on, and had her read from the script for the character. And I think she did a really interesting job. I definitely feel like this adaptation of Odysseus was much more comedic, and so I did like how that actress played Penelope, but it was definitely more of a comedic vibe. And I will say the one of the directors was actually the writer of the piece. He adapted it, and it's one of those where it's I feel really bad for him because he put so much work into this adaptation of Odysseus, but the actual performance was a bunch of high schoolers who didn't have enough rehearsal time. And so it kind of was a disaster. I remember that particular play was one of only 2 times that I've ever forgotten my lines on stage. And it's because we really just didn't have enough rehearsal time. I can't remember if we're even were we off call? Did we even have one rehearsal that was fully off call? I know that I struggled with my lines because we didn't have enough rehearsal time, and I'm someone who repetition through doing a scene multiple times helps me to just solidify it in my brain. And so it was a situation where it's I didn't have adequate rehearsal time for what I needed. And so I remember my scene partner was actually really nice. I was very close friends with her. She was probably the person I was closest with in the cast. She played, what was it, Athena. I think she was playing Athena for that scene. And I can't remember which of us forgot her line first, but I know I completely had no clue. I had no clue what came next. In acting, you're supposed to know not only your lines, but the lines of the person who you're on stage with, so that way if one of you forgets your lines, you can kind of go on with it. Both of us got lost, and I think I just, basically, I could not remember what the next line was, and I think I was something I don't remember what I said, but I know I improv'd something about my daughter to get us off stage, to wrap up the scene. We did not know what was supposed to come next in the scene, so I kind of just rushed through our scene to get us off stage with and just some improv line to try and like wrap things up because I didn't remember what was supposed to come next. So yeah, that was interesting. But it's just like both me and my scene partner like did not adequately remember what was even supposed to come next in that scene. We did not have enough rehearsal time. I found the script. So how this scene is supposed to go is I'm supposed to be lifting dumbbell 4001, 4002, 4003. And Athena runs in like, "Father, father." And I'm supposed to be, "Yes, daughter Athena, how can I help you?" And Athena's like, "Odysseus is still on Calypso's island. You promised him safe journey home to Greece." And I'm like, "Sure, tell Calypso to set him free. Now, if you will excuse me, the king of Argos has imprisoned his daughter, and she needs my help." And then I'm supposed to exit stage center, and then I think Hermes enters. Oh my gosh, I just love how we have a character who is a womanizing cheating scumbag being played by like a 14 to 15-year-old girl at the time. Yeah, so that was an experience. That was just like everything that could go wrong went wrong, that performance. Another challenge of that piece is just like Zeus is someone who is he was a very interesting and challenging character to portray because I feel like I absolutely hate his character because I had read some Greek myths up to that point and it's like, what do I remember him from? Europa. Like I remember him transforming into a bull, kidnapping some chick, impregnating her, and then like his wife, instead of being like, "Hey, I'm gonna take it out on you, husband," is like, "I'm gonna go take it out on the victim and make her life a living hell." And it's like, that's how I remember Zeus. Like, that's what I think of when I think of him. I think of a womanizing, cheating scumbag who doesn't take responsibility for his own actions and kind of is just like, everything that is wrong with the patriarchy embodified in a human or like in a character. I mean, technically he's like not mortal, but yeah. So that is what I think of Zeus. Like, I do not like him. And so it was hard playing a character who it's like, I just hate as a character. Like I didn't like him. And so it was like hard trying to just get into the headspace of like, be a big buff man who doesn't care about any of the harm that he causes to any of his victims and is just like, whatever, I'm gonna do me, and like I don't really have time for this. And also like I'm not really even there for my kids, but I'm gonna pretend like I'm just like this great head over the gods, but do I really care about what other people around me are doing? Not really. Like, I don't know, like, that's kind of like, I remember, like, trying to embody that for his character, and it was very challenging. Like, it was fun to play because it's like, I see how people get drunk on power. Like, it was just so much fun to get to play a character who is so, like, who I almost revile and who I feel like I just dislike, but yet he embodies like all of these like just unlimited power. And so that was almost very fun to play. Like it was cool to be, because like I'm a woman, and so it was really fun to get to play like the head of the gods and get to be like on the reverse side of sexism. Like it was just really fun. But it was a hard role. It was definitely like, I think honestly, one of the hardest roles that I've ever had to play. I will say though, like I would say anything to do with singing, like I actually find harder, because like music and me don't get along very well. Like it's, I can't even read music. But Zeus was one of the like hardest roles I ever had to play, just because just getting into his character. And also the fact that it's like we didn't have adequate rehearsal time and I forgot my lines. But there were other parts where it's just like were fun, where it's like you started, people like screwed up, but you kept going, you plowed through. It was just very low budget, very improvisational. Like, you just rolled with it, you went along with what came up. Like, it was a fun experience, but it's something that it's like, I do not want to ever go through something like that again. Like, just the stress of, like, you're trying your best and everyone around you is trying their best, but none of y'all are prepared. It's like winging, it's just like winging a play. It's like, it was fun, but I never want to repeat that experience again. And I remember, okay, another part, there was one part I found really fun. What was it? It was like, a lot of us were like playing multiple characters. Like, we'd be on stage as like, what is it, the suitors? Okay, so here's an example from when I was playing one of the suitors. So all of us were like circled up and pushing this one actress who was playing Telemachus around in like lines. We had lines, no, toss the baby, toss the baby, toss the baby. Suitors toss Telemachus aside. Penelope, have you finished your burial shroud for Odysseus yet? And Odysseus is like, for Odysseus? Because I guess technically we weren't supposed to know that he's Odysseus at that point in the scene. And then one of the suitors was like, yes, we told Penelope that Odysseus is dead. And Penelope is like, I haven't finished it yet. And the suitors are like, it's been 8 years. How long does it take for you to make a burial shroud? And Penelope's like, I don't know, but as soon as I'm done, I will make one of you my new husband. And one of the suitors is like, well, we bought you a burial shroud. Here, now you're done. You must choose one of us as your new husband. So I love just, like, the humor here and how, like, just parts of the plot are just changed to make it flow better on stage. And I love how, like, we're supposed to, like, pantomime trying to do the bow. And then, like, I think all of us, like, died on stage. Or like fake died on stage because we were supposed to be like unalived by Odysseus and Telemachus. That was just so much fun. And Odysseus's crew, I remember that at one point we were like turned into pigs or something, and I was like, we were all supposed to make like. Okay, so the context of this scene is Hermes takes off, Odysseus says, how odd, I wonder if my men found anything interesting on their search, and then I was supposed to enter stage right, and then I don't remember who got what line, but there were the lines, hey, look over there, there's a woman, what's your name? And then Circe goes, I'm Circe, what are you doing on my island? And the sailors are like, the gods must want you to serve us, do our laundry, bring us dinner, and then Circe's like, men are such pigs. Circe uses her magic on sailors. And then we had the lines, hey, what's going on? I feel weird. You're turning pink. Do you smell bacon? And then the sailors are turned into pigs. They squeal. Odysseus re-enters. So I love how the playwright made Circe's actions actually, like, make sense. Like, I cannot blame her for turning, like, a bunch of trespassers who are asking her to do their laundry into pigs. Like, I actually kind of empathize with Circe here, just saying. I could do, like, that so well, and it was just so much fun actually getting to use that, like, on stage. Like, it was just cool to get to do that, like, niche little skill of being able to do like the pig sound like accurately. Like, that was just so fun. And there were definitely just parts of the performance that it's like felt super random, but it's like were enjoyable to just act. Oh my gosh, I love this script. We also have, towards the beginning, Odysseus saying, we can't give up now. King Menelaus' beautiful wife Helen is still in there. We can't give up. And then one of the actresses said, actually, I heard she came here willingly. And then the entire chorus is supposed to go, ooh. And Odysseus is like, no woman would ever leave a Greek man willingly. It's just like, I love this. That is so something that, like, it's funny, and he has, like, the confidence of Zeus, and Oh, the confidence there. Sailors, we've already lost hundreds of men. Let's go home. Like, it was fun to get to do things that it's like, you never get to do, like, in everyday life. For the sailors, here's an example of scene 3, Odysseus and the Cyclops. Apparently I was playing the third sailor, sitting upstage platform, paddling boat with downstage oar, pantomime, like my writing was very small here. Sailors, Odysseus, you're the smartest Greek warrior ever! And Odysseus is like, I am. Sorry we got lost when we left Troy, though. I'm not very good at directions, but now we are definitely sailing toward home. I miss my wife Penelope and my son Telemachus. And then the sailors were like, home to our wives and children, home where we won't need our swords or armor or have any adventures or stay up late. And Odysseus is like, yes, home. And then the sailors are like, my wife nags me all the time. My son is a brat. I hate my mother-in-law. My life at home is pretty boring. And Odysseus is like, yes, well. And then the sailors are like, hey, look over there. Look at those sheep. Odysseus, let's land here and get some sheep for our trip back. Just one last stop. I love it. This piece just had so much humor and it was a good piece for a group of teenagers, but I do feel like we really needed more rehearsal time. And, oh my gosh, the costumes. If I remember correctly, I think all of us were wearing bed sheets, and oh my, I don't know if I have any pictures of this at all, but I am pretty sure I was wearing a Hello Kitty bed sheet pinned to look kind of like toga party-ish, and like I think I was Zeus wearing a Hello Kitty bed sheet, which just added to the humor of that production. But yes, it was an experience. It really was a situation where it's like everything that could go wrong, it was an absolute disaster of a piece that it's like I have honestly tried to forget about that experience. But yes, I was in an adaptation of Odysseus when I was like, what year was that? I was like 14, 15-ish. So that was a long time ago. But yes, yeah. I have tried very hard to like forget that disaster of a play. It's one of those where it's like in some aspects it was like fun in hindsight, but it's like it was like the most disastrous show I have ever been in my life, and I sincerely hope no one has a show that goes as wrong as that one did. So yeah, that was my experience playing Zeus and Odysseus. I hope that this video maybe inspires you, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.